guys, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new, make sure you hit that subscribe button and let's get right into this video. So today I'm going to be showing you guys everything you need to do polygel nails. So I filmed a video like this right at the beginning of my channel, but now that I've been doing polygel nails for the past 4 or 5 years now, and for the most part I pretty much found everything that works best for me, so I thought I would give you guys an updated version to help any beginners out there or anyone who might just need some upgraded nail supplies. So I just want to say that these are all the products that work best for me. So even though I think everything here is great for beginners, it's still best to look around, try different things to see what works best for you. I'm going to try my best to give you guys different options for certain things and keep everything very affordable. Like, I'll show you what I use, and then if it's more on the expensive side, I'll show you a more affordable option. So I'm going to show you guys everything in categories based on the steps that I do my nails in. Also, majority of these items are going to be from Amazon. That's basically where I do all my shopping. There are a few random items that might be from different websites, but I just thought keeping mostly everything from one place might be easier. So first off, we're going to start with safety and protection. So I would highly recommend getting some gloves when you're doing your nails. I just recently got into wearing gloves. I don't know why I haven't before. It's so much better. Like, I just feel so much safer, and I was very messy. Like, my hands would always get sticky. I would always touch the gel polish and stuff like that, but that's just not safe. I finally started wearing gloves and it's just way better. Like, I just feel like I can get so messy and I don't feel bad about it. So I recommend these gloves. They're from Amazon. I did try a different brand at first and they were horrible. Like, they ripped so easily, but I finally found these ones and these are so good. They literally do not break. So I would recommend these, and they have different sizes as well. Next item, we have a face mask. So this is just to prevent breathing in some of the dust and fumes that might come from doing nails. I know this is probably not the greatest face mask, but I just feel like they're comfortable and they do help. And I also get these from Amazon. They come in a huge pack. So moving on, the next category is nail prep. So these are my top main things that I use for nail prep. I always start with a cuticle pusher. This is just, you know, a simple cuticle pusher. I probably got this from a polygel nail kit as well. Next thing I have is cuticle scissors. I really like these because they are super thin and they easily trim around the cuticle areas, but I know not everyone might be comfortable using this, especially beginners. I was not using this as a beginner. I was using much duller scissors. Another alternative could be this type of tool that has that little scrapey thing at the end. And also, I think what would work best with this would be some cuticle softener, just so that it's easier to scrape the dead skin off. I've also seen other people use nippers to trim their cuticle areas, so you just gotta find what's best for you. But as a beginner, I would probably say the cuticle softener with the scraper might be the safest option. And then I have some nail clippers. So these ones are straight edged. I like the straight edged ones because even though I do use them to trim down my natural nail, I also use them to cut the nail tips into different shapes. For example, like stiletto nail tips. If you like to do nails that are more almond shaped or rounded, then I would recommend the curved nail clippers. But ultimately, I think it might be best to have both on hand. I don't have the curved ones. I only have these straight ones. And also, these are really good if your nail tip is a little bigger than your natural nail. That way it's easier to trim off sides or any excess nail tip. So now the next thing that is not completely necessary, but I do use this most for nail prep, is a e-file. So this one is from a cart. I know this one is a bit more on the expensive side. It is very good though if you do want the Macart one, but there are cheaper alternatives on Amazon. For example, this one's very similar to the one that I used when I first started using a nail drill. Not the same exact one, but literally it looks exactly like this. And I would say that one was really good, but the only reason I stopped using it was because I got this one. And these ones are around $30. So if you do feel like you need a nail drill, I would probably start with a more affordable one like this one. But the main things I use the nail drill for is for filing around the cuticle area and also filing over the surface of the nails. And these are the drill bits that I mostly use for that. So I have some fine grit sanding bands. When working on the natural nail, I would recommend using the finest grit. And then for the cuticle drill bits, the main one I use is basically this one with the round bit at the end. But like I said, I don't really know much about drill bits, so I keep it simple. But you can get away with not using an e-file. You're just gonna need a hand file basically. Now, if you are someone who likes to practice their nails often, I would recommend a peel off base coat. This is the one I have and I really like it. This is not on Amazon though, and it is around $30, so it's a bit on the expensive side for a peel-off base coat, but it is really good. That's why I'm still recommending it. Another alternative could be this one from Amazon. I know many different brands have a peel-off base coat, but I'm just gonna recommend Macart because I trust Macart. I feel like Macart's usually good for most things. And then another way to do a peel-off base coat is a DIY version that I have been using pretty much the entire time I've been doing nails, because I just only recently got this. It's basically cuticle oil and top coat. So you put some cuticle oil on your natural nails and then paint a layer of top coat over it, and then the nails will pop off very easily. The only thing that they don't last long at all, like one wrong move and it's popping off. But I think it's good if you don't want to spend any money on a peel-off base coat. And that stuff is only for those who want to practice nails very often and don't want their nails to last a long time. So the next step is going to be nail tips and nail tip prep. So these are the nail tips that I highly recommend. When I was a beginner, I was always looking for new nail tips to try because I felt like I could never find the right ones for me. And I really believe that the type of nail tip you use will determine how the set turns out in the end. So that is why I was on the hunt for some really good nail tips. And these ones are just the best ones that I've tried so far. Unfortunately, these are also not from Amazon. So I found these from an Instagram account. They are perfectly squared, extra long, and no C-curve. I feel like they fit my nail really well and just overall my favorite nail tips. I know not everyone likes extra long nails though, so I'm sure you can find other alternatives from Amazon, but I like to have the option of long nails, so that's why I like long nail tips. But other alternatives for nail extensions, you could use dual forms. This is literally the only box of dual forms I have. I don't like dual forms, I'll be honest. I personally don't think they're easy for beginners. Like when I tried them when I was a beginner, I thought they were very hard. But if you like the technique of dual forms, then I would say just go for it. And I'm sure with practice, they can become much easier, just like anything for nails. As long as you practice it, it'll get easier. So I just have some from Macart, but I'm also sure there are other brands specifically for dual forms that might make better ones. And then the other option is nail forms. I do not use nail forms often. I think I've used them once or twice. They're not bad, but they're also not that easy to work with. A lot of the times the sticky part doesn't really stick that well, and I think it's much harder to shape it to fit this natural part of your nail. Although it could be a good option, I just still think nail tips are the best way to go for polygel. And to glue on the nail tips, you're gonna need a nail glue. This is my favorite nail glue. It's called KDS Nail Glue, and I get this from Amazon. So you can get these in a really big pack, but I do not recommend getting them in the big pack because after a while, they do get old and the glue just stops working. So the nail glue is supposed to be very liquidy, like watery like that, but older nail glues, when they sit for a long time, they start to become gooey and they just don't work. So I recommend getting these in smaller packs, that way they stay fresh as you use them, because I've learned my lesson. I got the 50 pack of these and they basically all went bad before I could use them. Another option to glue on nail tips is using base coat. If you see from my other videos, I do use base coat to glue on the nail tips because in my case I always use a peel off base coat, and I just like something that's a bit more gentle on my nails, and also regular nail glue does not stick to my peel off base coat, so I have to use base coat and cure it on. So if you're the type of person that likes to practice doing their nails a lot, I would say base coat is a good option. I don't think it lasts as long, but I think it is more gentle and it works well if you use peel off base coat. But also if you're the person that wants your nails to last super long, I still think base coat could be a good option as long as you use a primer and dehydrator. Okay guys, this is the most important part of the video. If you want your nails to last, you have to use a primer and dehydrator. And this one is the best one that I've tried. It's from Mia's Secret. I get this on Amazon. It's pretty affordable. It's only $10. You get a dehydrator and a primer. So these two products on their own are still good to make your nails last a long time. But I think the product that will help them last extra long is this Young Nails Protein Bond. So you put the primer and dehydrator on first and then the protein bond. And when I tell you, your nails will last so long. I plan to do a whole dedicated video about how to make your polygel nails last, and this is the main thing. Using these three things together, my nail sets have lasted around a month, so this definitely does work. Now, if you are going to be gluing on your nail tips with base coat, you are going to need something like a UV flashlight. This is the one I recommend. I just got this and it is literally amazing. I don't know how I was working without this, and this is just to cure on the nail tips this easier. It is super bright. It has a 20-second timer and a 60-second timer. It has a stand, which is perfect when you're putting the nails under there. And it's also rechargeable, so you don't have to worry about batteries. So this is something I definitely recommend having. It's just gonna make your life much easier. To trim down the nail tip, you are gonna need a tip cutter. Well, I mean, you don't need it exactly, but I like to have it. I think it makes it easier to cut the nail tips. Yeah, and you just put the tip of the nail in there and trim it. I'm not gonna do that now though. Once again, not exactly necessary. Like, you don't need this. You can use the nail clippers to trim down your nail tips, but I just think this is easier. Now, moving on to the Polygel application. So first off, you're gonna want your area that you're working on to be cleared and not have any dust on it. And you're also going to want to protect your desk that you're working on. So I would recommend something like this rubber mat to put under where you're working. And then also some napkins. So the napkins I get them from Target. They're called Viva paper towels, and I like them because they don't give off that much lint. And the next thing you're gonna need is a damping dish. So this is to put your slip solution in. Mine is a little bit dirty. Excuse the state of some of my stuff in this video. So this is how mine looks. It's very cute, but it does tip over so easily. I don't know why I decided to pick the design that literally looks like it was made to be tipped over. So even though this one is very cute, I would probably recommend something that has a bigger, flatter bottom, so it's not as easy to tip over. And then for slip solution, I use 91% isopropyl alcohol. I get this from Target as well. It's only like $2. I know you can also use 70% isopropyl, but I feel like that one just, like, if you ever have some stickiness on your fingers or on your tools, like, I feel like that one just doesn't clean off the stickiness as well. And I also feel like that one's a bit harder to work with the polygel. So this one's just the best slip solution I've tried. And then another option is using base coat as a slip solution. I do see people use that too. I just would not recommend that one. It's just too sticky and messy in my opinion. So I stick to this one. Another really important thing to have are some lint-free nail wipes, because a lot of the times polygel and gel polishes leave behind a tacky layer on the nail that you need to wipe off, and it's best to have these little wipes that are lint free so no lint gets stuck on the nail. This container is from Shein, but it's obviously not necessary at all. You can just get the nail wipes on their own. Now you're gonna need a polygel brush. So this is the one that I use. I get this from Amazon. This is a number 10 brush with the spatula attachment at the end. This brush on Amazon has a few different options, a few different sizes, and also some different attachments at the end. Like, I know there's a dotting tool at the end of one of the brushes, but I recommend the spatula because I use this spatula to scrape off the excess polygel, so it's just easier that it's at the end of my brush. And I like this polygel brush because it is so big. It's literally the size of my cuticle area. It just makes spreading out the polygel much faster and easier. But if you're a beginner and you think that working with a bigger brush might not be the best thing for you at the moment, I recommend this brush. This is a number 8 Kolinsky polygel brush. It's definitely smaller than the current one I use, but I still think this one is very good, and this one's also very affordable. I think it's only $10, and I did use this brush for a while and it did work very well, so I still recommend this one if you want a bit of a smaller option. But also I do use this brush as a cleanup brush to clean around the cuticle areas of any like gel polish or glitter, things like that, so I do still actually use this brush. Another really helpful tool when working with polygel is tweezers. I use this to pop any bubbles that might be in the polygel and also pick out any little dust or lint that might get stuck in my nails. Also a necessity when you are doing polygel nails, you're gonna need a nail lamp. This is the one I have. It's from Amazon. I've literally had this thing since the beginning of my channel, so it has lasted about 4 years now and it is still going strong. It still works very well and cures my polygel very fast, so I do recommend this brand. I think they have one in pink now, so if I'm gonna be getting a new nail lamp, I'm gonna get this in pink. So this one is around $30. There are definitely some more affordable options for nail lamps, but can't really guarantee how well they might work because this one is the only one that I've used from Amazon. But honestly, for $30 and lasting 4 years already, I think it was well worth the price. Now let's get into the polygel that I recommend. So these are my go-to polygels. Well, not really the white to be honest with you, but I think for a lot of people it might be a very necessary color to have. But these two are the ones I use the absolute most for all of my nail sets. This is my favorite nude polygel color. I'm sorry, I don't really know how to pronounce it, so I'm not gonna say it. But it's this really pretty light pink, slightly sheer color, and I think it's perfect for my skin tone and goes well with a lot of my nail designs. And then also clear polygel. Clear polygel is great if you just want a plain base, if you're thinking you're gonna paint over it with something, or if you just want clear nails, but you also need clear to encapsulate different nail designs as well. So clear is definitely a must-have. And as a beginner, I recommend keeping it simple. Probably just go with the simplest base colors you can think of. So I would recommend these two. And if you also like white, then I would probably recommend getting white as well. I really like Macart Polygel because I feel like it is the perfect consistency. It's not too stiff, it's not too runny, it's not sticky, it's just so easy to work with. And I feel like for beginners, this is a really good brand to start off with. Macart is a bit more on the expensive side, but I think it is very worth it for the quality of the polygel. But some alternatives I recommend if you want something a bit more affordable. So I recommend stiffer polygels for beginners because when you put it on the nail, you don't have to worry about it running and flooding the cuticle area, because also if you're a beginner, you probably are going to be taking more time to smooth out the nails, which is totally fine. Like, I've been doing nails for a little while now and I still take forever. So that's still why I prefer stiffer polygels. So I would recommend this brand right here. I think the polygels are a very nice consistency. It's a very similar consistency to Macart polygel, and I think it is a bit more affordable. But if you're thinking you want a really nice consistency for polygel, I just recommend going for the Macart one. You can just get one color and then go from there. So moving on from the polygel application, the next thing we're gonna need are some hand files because we need to shape the nails. So these are the ones that I use. I really like them. They're from Amazon as well. Like I said, mostly everything here is from Amazon. They are 100 grit hand files. I know you can also get 80 grit hand files, but for some reason I chose 100 grit and I'm stuck with them because I got a really huge pack. I also recommend getting gray hand files from this brand at least, because the black hand files leave behind little black specks. And they're really hard to clean up from around the nail. I recommend the gray hand files, and I pretty much do all my shaping with a hand file, so this is really all I need when I shape my nails. But then, you know, after I shape my nails, I actually do still need to buff them. So these are the buffing blocks I have. They're from Macart. I think they're really good. They buff the nails well. I'm sure you can use other buffing blocks if you don't want this specific one, but these are just the ones I have, and I like these. Now, another thing for shaping that I think is really important is a dust collector. So this one is from Macart. I know this one is on the expensive side as well, so I did see some other affordable options on Amazon that are around $30, but I can't guarantee how good they are because I've never used them before. But honestly, I think it is something very important to have when you're shaping. It honestly just makes it way more enjoyable that there's not dust flying everywhere and you feel like you can't breathe. So I think it's just better to get a cheaper version that might not last as long than have nothing at all. Now, one of the final things you're going to need when you're doing your nails is a good top coat. So this is the one that I have. I really like this brand from Amazon. I think their products are really good. It comes as a top coat and base coat set. So if you're looking for a good top coat, I recommend this one. I think this is only $7. And then to finish off your nails, you're going to need a cuticle oil. It just helps to rehydrate your cuticles and make them look not so dusty, and overall just makes the whole nail set look complete. So I have these cuticle oil sticks from Macart, and I really like these because it's easy to apply the cuticle oil onto my nails. So if you just want to keep your nails simple, one color polygel nails, then you can stop there. That's about all you need for your nails. But if you do want to do some nail art, add some nail decorations, then I have a few recommendations. So to start off, if you're a beginner, I recommend keeping everything very simple. I feel like don't overwhelm yourself with getting too much nail decorations and trying to find everything that you might possibly need for some nails. Just keep it simple. So for gel polish, I would just recommend getting a white and a black gel polish. I also recommend having some nude gel polish as well. And if you want to add some color to your nail set, I would recommend getting a set of gel polishes that have all the primary colors. This is one that I just seen on Amazon. It's from the Beetles brand. I haven't tried Beetles gel polish, but I have asked some of you guys in the past and you guys have said it was good. So I saw this set and it does have all the primary colors, and that's pretty much all you need for the gel polish because you can just mix your colors. Keep it simple with the gel polishes. Don't feel like you have to have so many collections and sets. Just start with the basics and then you can build your collection from there. So if you're using gel polish to do some nail art, I recommend these nail art brushes that I have, and this one had a long one as well, but I can't find it right now. And it was just a pack of 3 nail art brushes, and they're just really thin brushes, and I've been using them for a little while and I really like these nail art brushes. You're gonna need somewhere to put all your gel polishes if you're gonna do some nail art, and I have this mixing plate. This is from Shein, but you can find similar things like this on Amazon. It's a little dirty right now. I tried cleaning it the best I could, but this is what I got to mix gel polishes and put your gel polishes on. So now I have a few things for other nail art and nail decorations. So nail decorations is pretty much up to you based on what you like and what designs you want to do, but I just have some suggestions here of either trendy nail art at the moment or nail art that I've been liking to do recently. So first one is 3D nail art. To do 3D nail art, I use rhinestone glue from McCart, and it's basically just a thicker gel that can hold its shape for a little bit, and you can make 3D nail art like this, or like this, or even like this. There's also 3D nail art that uses sculpting gel, and this is a brand that I just started using that I really like for the sculpting gel. And sculpting gel is basically a type of gel that is very thick. It's not sticky at all, so you can mold it with your fingers when you have gloves on, of course. And you can do designs like this 3D flower right here. Next is Aura nail art. I love Aura nail art right now. I just think Aura can go on any nail set, and it's pretty easy, and I like easy nail art. So you probably have seen that you can do Aura with an airbrush or with blooming gel or other types of methods to do Aura, but my favorite method that I've tried, because I have tried the blooming gel, it did not work out for me, and I even got a whole airbrush machine and all the airbrush stuff, and I ended up not liking the airbrush at all. I thought the airbrush was way too complicated, too hard to clean. I didn't like it. So my favorite way to do Aura is with some nail pigments. This set right here is specifically for nails, but you can also use eyeshadow. Like I have this eyeshadow palette right here that I use specifically for nails. I got this from Target. It was about $20. It's nice and it's good, but I wish I got a palette that had more neon colors. So I would probably recommend getting one from Amazon that specifically has neon colors, or if you can find one that just has more neon colors. So to do Aura, you need a matte top coat as the base. That way the pigment can stick onto it, and then you need some type of blending brush. I just have this rounded blending brush. This one is from Shein, and this is also from Shein as well, but like I said, you can switch this out for eyeshadow, and if you have a makeup brush, basically an eyeshadow blending brush that's a little bit fluffy, that would also work for the Aura as well. Another cute element that I like to add to my nails are some iridescent chrome powders. This one has a bunch of different colors and shimmers, and I just really like adding these to the nails. I think it's a subtle way to add something extra. And then finally, some nail charms. To me, I think nail charms are the biggest thing. Nail charms can just add so much to a nail set. So I have a few nail charm containers already filling up. This one has my bigger sets of nail charms that are kind of mixed. This one is a pink nail charm kit. This one is only halfway filled, but has some really cute nail charms in there too. And then I also have this one. So all of these nail charms are mostly from Shein. I would recommend getting nail charms from Shein just because it is more affordable, or I know you can get them from places like AliExpress, I think, and Temu, but I don't really shop at Temu anymore. So yeah, if you really like nail charms, I recommend getting them from Shein or a website like that they're just more affordable on. But that is pretty much it for this video. I hope I was able to help any beginners out there who might need some guidance on what exactly you might need to do polygel nails, or if anyone just needed some new product ideas or useful tools that you might not have had before. I hope this could help you guys. If you want more beginner guide videos like this, let me know in the comments. I would love to do them. I think this was a fun video to do since I haven't made a video like this in a really long time, and just update you guys on the newer stuff that I use for my nails. Once again, everything will be linked in the description for you guys, but that is pretty much it for this video. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I will talk to you all next time. Bye!